Hello my fellow citizens, and welcome again to another episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic, episode number 6. Today we have a lot to go over, with this episode being focused solely on Star Citizen and the CitizenCon that followed it. On Friday, Star Citizen had their annual CitizenCon, with it coming lots of information that we have to go over. We have the Cutlass reveal for those pirates who would love to have a ship for nefarious purposes. We have the 890 jump reveal for pilots who prefer a more luxurious approach to space. We also have the very big Planetside reveal, which allows us to see finally what the Planetside module is going to look like and what kind of vision Chris Roberts has for us come the persistent universe. There's also a few other little tidbits and secrets, such as a retaliator thrown about, where we finally get to see it in the hangar, and maybe the options for female pilots to have their very own model to choose from. Just some things to go over, so join me on this 6th episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic as we go over Star Citizen's CitizenCon. Now, the biggest reveal that we had, in my opinion, would be that of the Planetside module. With Chris at the helm on the stage, we finally get to see what Star Citizen will be like when we're not flying about in our ships. The first few things that we'll notice is that they're working hard on the transition screens. Just like Chris promised, there's going to be a unique loading animation instead of any sort of loading screens that you would see in previous games. Instead of a loading bar or something else that would otherwise yank you from the immersion of the game, you're instead treated to an interatmospheric, and I believe I'm using that word wrong, little cutscene as your ship enters the atmosphere of your chosen planet, or possibly not even atmosphere, or just orbit of your planet, and docks with the assistance with the city's navigational either AI or program. After a fancy little docking cutscene, you finally get to get out of your ship, walk about, and experience the Planetside module in its whole glory. Now, as you can see here, there is a few little tidbits that are kind of off. You can see a little bit of artifacting and Z-fighting when the player character enters the hangar. There's a little bit of stuttering, FPS drops, and otherwise immersion breaking factors that are still present, but Chris himself does go to say that these are being worked on, and I have full faith that these will be ironed over, polished, and given a nice bright coat of paint. What is important, however, is that this even works. Very similar to some other recent games that we've tried, such as maybe Destiny or other games before that have had loading cinematics, this game looks quite fancy. Anyone that has broken out of the Broken Moon multiplayer map will have noticed previously that some of these assets for the Planetside module were sort of in place. You can see now how they'll be used to the fruition when the player finally lands. Speaking of the case of landing, in this particular case, Chris and CIG are using a constellation, and you can actually see some of the work that they put into the cargo hold component of the game. I don't know if you're able to interact with any of those cargo pieces that were present, but this is a good indication of what kind of immersive system they want to have. So instead of just having a static inventory on a menu, you can actually inspect your cargo as they have promised, including maybe fitting that little gray cat buggy in there. Another interesting things to see are some of the vibrant environments that they have showing in the Planetside module. Ships are flying overhead, advertising banners run amok, and something that we haven't seen yet, NPCs. Now, they don't look like they're doing much yet, and with the recent stretch goal of them promising the NPCs and AI to have a dynamic system, I'm looking forward to seeing them doing more than just standing about and talking. But as Chris walks through the entire little demo, you get to see him go through a security checkpoint, very interesting for those people who might be trying to sneak in contraband, as well as enter the sort of main hub area. Now, they did say in the demo that not all of the shops are working, even said it blatantly, "Can we please make sure we're going into the shop that is working?" But given the scope and idea of what they're trying to show, this gives a very good and very reassuring view of what we can expect for the Planetside module. Think of players convening about in these areas when they're looking for contracts, or maybe planning to do a little black market dealing. Maybe think of them going to the shop when they need to outfit their stuff with a friend and ask for preferred loadouts, or even what might just be the deal of the day. It's all rough, and it's still a work in progress. but looking at the whole of what they're trying to achieve and finally seeing it delivered is quite exhilarating. You can check out the full details of this reveal in the description below. The video is actually 10 minutes long, and I kind of just sat there watching it over and over. But try to pick out some of the little details and effort that they put into it. The polygon count is impressive. I could not, at least for the life of me, spot any dull looking textures or environments. This is Star Citizen, not at its finest, but its potentially finest. You can see the amount of effort that they are pouring into this game to give it a living, breathing feel. And if I dare so may break from topic and speak about Destiny after experiencing a very bland and dead and static environment, this has reinvigorated my hopes that Star Citizen will replace any and all games that I hope to play for the next 5-10 years to come. It's going to actually be really exciting to see some of the other environments that they come out for, come Terra or maybe Spider or some of the other creepier or prettier locations that they have envisioned for Star Citizen. This is sort of just a little bit of a litmus test area, so we can only really use it as a baseline of what to expect. But if you guys have anything that you're interested in seeing, please do tell me, or tell me what you felt when you saw this Planetside module, because for me, it's finally the Planetside module, and I'm just repeating myself, so I'm going to try to carry on here. If you guys have anything interesting to say about the Planetside module, let me know in the comments below or in the forums. And let's move on to another big, literally big reveal, an expensive reveal, of the 890 jump. Now I'll have to be dead honest, when the 890 jump was first revealed, I didn't really know what to think of it. What are you going to do with an overpriced space yacht in space? Well, some obvious answers aside, I was proven at least wrong by some of my previous assumptions that the 890 jump will be a worthless, overpriced ship. The crown jewel of Origin Spaceworks, this ship looks fit for anyone seeking a luxurious travel in space, or possibly a small pocket glass cannon. The 890 jump comes equipped with its usual luxurious wooden floors, leather seats, and various anemones who are fit for anyone who's seeking a very luxurious stay, but at the same time what caught my interest is the fact that you can equip some very heavy firepower on this particular ship. I'm not one easily distracted by fancy gold and embroidery or wood floors for all I care. As long as it flies or stays together, that's what counts. The A90 jump could be a potential beast of a ship given what it's capable of fitting. It has 3 Class 4 hardpoints, size 4, unmanned, rear, and sides. The Class 4 equipment can be equipped with the follows: 2x Gallinson Tactical Phoenix G4 330 laser repeaters. These are also S3s. It can also be fitted with 2 6 Talon Stalker, so 6 missiles each, S3 racks on Class 4 mounts. It comes with also Class 5 hardpoints with 2 size 5 upper and lower twin turrets. Class 5 equipment include 4 Preacher Alpha 9s, don't know what those are, as well as we get 2 Point Defense Class 9 hardpoints and 2 Kodiak AC Point Defense equipment hardpoints. Now, at first this was my main concern as I was thinking, you know, what are you going to do with a fancy space yacht? But looking at some of the firepower you can fit on this thing, I'm pretty sure it's not going to rival Nidris, but for any of you pirate organizations that are looking to have a potential glass cannon, or looking at the shield here, Kruger Arguments K6DB, max shield size 6, you might just have yourself a small pocket ship. Now, they aren't cheap. They run you about $600 right now. At the time of this recording, I believe there's about 300 left, and during the initial sale, each ship sold at about, the batches of 500 gone in about, what, 5 minutes? Yeah, you guys are kind of crazy with your buying there, but good job. Little expensive for my taste, but if you're looking for your very own frigate, I think this might be a ship to pick up. Now, I don't know how I'll be able to test this in Arena Commander, if I'll have to borrow one from a friend, but I'm really looking forward to see what kind of It's such, yeah, I get this image of a sleeper ship, or the same way that you would find sleeper drag cars or muscle cars. Just look normal, completely fine, nothing amazing, and then you look under the hood and holy crap, what the hell is this? I get a little early to see what else we can do with it. It comes with its own 85X runabout. It's a small little shuttle ship. You should be seeing an image of it right now. You can run about with that, explore the surface, or just use it as a shuttle. But no, the big highlight of this for me, finally seeing the 890 jump, potential pirate ship, potential could even do a little bit of black market stuff, and yet still have a little bit of style. In fact, one of the citizens I'd seen in the forum made a comparison of the 890 jump looking like a Star Destroyer, and if you look at that triangular profile, I'm inclined to believe that he is sort of right on that assumption. I do want to do a more in-depth analysis of the 890 jump or personal feelings, but given with my show format, I'm trying to keep things short and concise. So if you guys want to check out the 890 jump, you can do so. They have a ship brochure, which there should be a link in the description below. Very nice, well done, typically what you can expect from CIG and their creative minds over there who write these. Again, it feels like I want to go buy a Lincoln now after reading the brochure. You can check that out. You can also check out the sale page on the RSI site itself, and just to double check, so I don't lead anyone astray, there are 281 ships left at the time of this recording, and they will set you back $600. So if you have $600 to throw out for an 890 jump, do so. You will be getting lifetime insurance with this pre-ship sale, so for those of you who are worried about losing such an expensive investment, rest assured CIG and the in-fiction insurance companies have you covered. Now, if the 890 jump is a little too expensive for your taste, or maybe just the lavish lifestyle doesn't exactly appeal to you, perhaps maybe you're something more of a pirate, or you have a little bit of a rebellious streak on you. CIG has finally unveiled the Cutlass, or rather, the different variants of Cutlass, Cutlasses or Cutlass, somebody correct me on that you can look forward to in Star Citizen. And best of all, they're available in the hangar right now. After such a creative little video like that, you can guarantee that I personally am a little bit more interested in the Cutlass than I was before. Now, we have 3 different Cutlass variants to go over. The first one is our Cutlass Black, the one that, if you had a Cutlass previously, should be the one that you find in your hangar. This is the base model Cutlass that is fit for anything that you might choose to do in the galaxy, including piracy. This is the one that Drake Interplanetary markets to most mercs, militias, first-time spacecraft buyers, and potential pilots out there who plan to pillage and take all the rum in the galaxy from anyone they so choose. Comes with the standard equipment and setup, nothing too fancy, so if you're looking forward to buying your very own pirate ship, or am quite content with your purchase, then the Cutlass Black might be just for you. However, there's 2 other options available for you for people who might want something a little more than just a pirate ship. The next variant that we have, of course, is the Cutlass Red, and actually I can just confirm in between takes that I purchased one out of pure impulse, so good job CIG. You made me spend money when I shouldn't be. Damn. Now, anyways, for the ship itself, the Cutlass Red is Drake's dedicated Cutlass ambulance. Equipped with onboard medical facilities and an array of search and rescue gear, the Cutlass Red is a battlefield support ship that can still pack a punch. If your squadron is going up against the Vandal, it never hurts to have a Cutlass Red on your team. Now, what kind of play mechanics we can envision with the Cutlass Red is up to debate. Whether they're just nearby and they count as healing ships, which I'm pretty sure they don't, or perhaps when a pilot gets blown up yet ejects safely but is perhaps injured, this is maybe perhaps the ship that would fly up, scoop up that poor battered pilot, and attempt to nurse them back to health, or at least stabilize them until you can bring them to a more fit facility, either on world or that research, science, and hospital ship that was recently voted for in the letter for the chairman, which, by the way, props to all of you. I'm probably going to have to buy that one too, but we'll find out how much that costs or what it is later. We're talking about the Drake. Now, a little bit less armament than your standard Drake, but it does come equipped, of course, with its full medical complement. So if you're like me, and you're a Dr. Hawk, or a Dr. Bird, or Raptor, or Feather, or whatever you are, and you're looking for a good support ship, then this is the ship for you. Now, our final variant is a little bit interesting for those of you that want to play as Space Cops. Used primarily by planetary police and militia, as well as the advocacy for commerce interdiction, the Cutlass Blue is your choice if you want to be the ultimate badass space cop. If there's a Cutlass Blue in your rear view VDU, you're having a bad day. This double tough Cutlass variant is intended for commerce interdiction and to support advocacy operations. Most Cutlass Blue variants are earmarked for planetary police and frontier militia squadrons. A limited number are available for purchase on the open market. Complete with its own complement of cells, as well as stun batons and other non-lethal takedown methods for anybody you so choose to detain, this is the ship that I can see a lot of bounty hunters using for capturing alive, hopefully, and not the dead variety. Check out the Cutlass Blue if you're looking for this kind of ship yourself. You can find all 3 variants in the RSI com link. There should be a link in the description below, as well as the forum post, so you can find it easily. Each ship is going to set you back roughly from the Cutlass Black to, I believe, $115. I'll have to check here myself because I forgot to write down. The Cutlass Black will set you back $115. The Cutlass Red will set you back $135. And finally, the Cutlass Blue will set you back $165. It'll come with its very own hangar, as well as complete 6-month insurance. And if you already have a Cutlass Black, you can upgrade to the other variants for the respective cost of, for a Cutlass Red, $20, and a Cutlass Blue for $50. So be sure to pick up the Cutlass now while you can, because I'll see you in the verse with my very own and brand new Cutlass Red. Now that was pretty much the Drake sale. So the Drake sale, yeah, they're selling dragons. The Drake Cutlass sale. So if, like I said, make sure you run out and go buy yourself your very own Cutlass. All in all, that is the majority of what happened in Star Citizen news this week, especially with CitizenCon. There's a few other little tidbits. In fact, I actually wanted to give a shout out to Bryonic, or Brian. You may have seen him on the forums. He took the liberty of taking all the 2 hours worth of content from CitizenCon and compiled it into a very handy YouTube video, as well as a little bit of a playlist if you want a breakdown. You can see the Retaliator as it should be showing now in the hangar, ready for use. We also got to see the campaign, a little bit of a teaser of that, so it's coming along. And apparently we'll have part 1 ready, I believe, by somewhere I'd want to say Q3 of next year. So check out Bryonic. Brian does a really good job in there. There should be a link in the description below for anyone who's interested in watching it. And make sure to give him a quick, thumbs up for his efforts in doing that. All in all, that is this week's episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic, episode number 6. I wanted to take the opportunity to actually do a shout out for a citizen. Now, you guys may have noticed that there's a little bit something different here. Speedy, one of the citizens, you can find him on Twitter, was kind enough to donate the green screen for Star Citizen FM. Now, I'm still trying to learn out how to work it, and as you've noticed, I don't have adequate lighting, so there's bound to be some weird issues that you may see and that I'll only find out after I go to edit this. But give me patience, and I'm probably just going to go out and buy a cheap LED lamp, or even a plug-in lamp if I have to, just to get some sort of decent lighting. If you guys are interested in Star Citizen FM and DrHawk's Game Clinic, you can do so and subscribe by clicking on the fuzzy little hawk on the lower left-hand corner. Click that hawk and it'll subscribe you to this playlist. I try to keep you up to date on anything regarding Star Citizen or any other game that's catching the interest at the time, be it Destiny, Forza Motorsport, or even DayZ if you have an interest in that kind of thing. You can follow me on all the known social networking sites. I can be found on Twitter at LGDrHawk. I occasionally tweet about Star Citizen stuff and other wild things. You can find me on Facebook as well for when I'm posting on Facebook, that social networking site. We have about 250 likes so far, so I'd like to say a big thank you for those of you who have supported me on the social networking front. You can also find me on Twitch TV at DrHawk, the full Doctor, where I occasionally will stream Star Citizen, Destiny, and assorted games. A little quick shout out in that regard is that I'm considering of doing the little Extra Life marathon. You guys may have heard of it. You do a 24-hour marathon and play for somebody that you sponsor in hopes of raising money for kids in need. I would be playing for my cousin who was diagnosed with leukemia 3 years ago, who is fighting a really good fight. She's 6 years old now, recovering. She's good. I'd like to sponsor her. If you guys are interested in that, do so. Subscribe on Twitch. Tell me what you think of that little marathon. And finally, I'd like to give a big thank you to my Patreon backers. We've actually almost gotten to $40 per episode of Star Citizen FM. I never thought I'd get to $40 for a little YouTube show. So big thank you to you guys that support me, and if you guys are interested in supporting, all you gotta do is give a little less than $1 a month if that's all you want to do, and it goes a long way. Helps get equipment like this and the camera, and hopefully turn DrHawk's Game Clinic into a AAA production show. Now thank you guys very much for tuning in. It's been fun doing this, and I'm actually just want to go try that Drake now and run around in it. I kind of bought that on impulse and melted some ships that I don't plan on using. I'll try to get some footage of the Drakes later for you guys. You can find them in the DrHawk's Game Clinic playlist, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic, episode number 7. You guys take care, fly safe, and have a great weekend. And happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian fellow pilots. I've been talking too much. Good night, guys.